Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot. Now, I know I said I wouldn't be doing any more readings this month, but I have a few spare hours, so hopefully I'll be able to do all 12 for the Lunar Galactic download for this month. The moon will be passing across 16, 17 degrees Sagittarius on the 22nd, which also happens to be the fall equinox. So when I saw that, I thought, oh no, I can't miss that one. Now, the equinox, as you probably know, fall equinox, autumnal equinox, equal hours of light and dark, seeking a point of balance. Interesting, since it is also the point of going into Libra, the scales. Well, that's probably where the symbolism came from in the first place. Now, listening to the various astrologies, Chris Witecki on his Namaste Today, shared on my Facebook page, link down below, of course, talks about the sun ingress into Libra, about coming into a new relationship with ourselves, whereas Astrology with Heather also said seeking to come into balance. Not necessarily finding that balance. I mean, hey, have you seen the world? But seeking to come into that balance, making the effort to move towards it. Now, this is also the Feast of Mabon, which, although people talk about the Wheel of the Year being an old thing, which it is, Mabon's recognition only seems to derive from the 1970s onwards. But anyway, he was a child of the light and son of Mother Earth, I think, if I remember correctly. I did print some notes out, but they're over there. Now, this is a time for reaping, for the second harvest, the fruit harvest, and a time for review for everything that you started putting into action in the spring equinox and in the early side of the year. Well, it's also a good point about the fall equinox is Jupiter has just changed to go direct, so it's signifying a good change in in consciousness and confidence, maybe, but a good change in consciousness. All in all, pretty good omens, pretty good symbols. Now, considering that with the Mars-Saturn square, Mars-Pluto square, Mars-Jupiter square, Mercury, T-square, Mars and Saturn, that doesn't figure, does it? But it's Mercury's coming into T-square of something or other, and I'm sure Mars and Saturn are involved there, but maybe Saturn must be T-squaring. But anyway, moving on. Watch the Astrology with Heather video for more details on that. Again, link down below on my Facebook page, link down below. But I want to look at the symbol for 0 degrees Libra. Now, the Chandra symbol is, and not at all stereotypical, a group of fat Italian ladies preparing bread. Now, it says this is an archetypal, universal and diffuse allegiances, activities and realms of experience, becoming camouflaged perfectly by adopting a persona that is wondrously engaging and easy connected with. So that does indicate an energy to put people at ease and to start rebuilding relationships if they've been destroyed. However, the interpretation goes on, putting it on a bit heavy, thick grease paint. You exult in getting away with seeming to be the world's most anonymous person. The disguise can stick to the face. Overt consciousness awash in mass identification. At times you are able to penetrate through and find open possibilities, but you are primarily engrossed in the outer and alive to the advertised sensations of what it is like to be popular, well received and simply welcome wherever you go as part of the mix, and no problem at all. So, bit double-edged. Well, to me, I think that's a little bit double-edged about that whole subsuming yourself in mass identification. But if you're trying to smooth over any divisions, then that's quite useful. Now, the Omega symbol, which I really like a lot more, is an apothecary shop in which herbal concoctions and other medicines appear as needed. So this is talking about desire and need combined with pure intent, creating their own fulfillment spontaneously. And the oracle of this degree, which explores it more, where is it? So, and I love this little story, an alchemist invented an apothecary shop which mirrored completely the realm of disease. Anyone who entered it immediately reflected their essence onto the mind of the shop, which then generated the herbs and compounds as an echoing of felt needs. The shop held all of the answers and solutions that one could ever desire. Now, what was curious was how few people came to the shop. And of those few who came and took home the medicines, how many of the medicines were placed on a shelf somewhere and forgotten about? So the shop, always desirous of improving the potency and efficacy of its products, began focusing on other medications such as songs, weather and memory clusters, which is harvested out of people and distilled into custom-made homeopathic essences. Illusions, properly selected and harvested, were also found to be highly salutary. Well, salutary I would have thought meant to say hello, but I assume that means some form of healing. That sounds perfect and a little bit double-edged. Hopefully it is reflecting your actual need and not what you think your needs are, because let's face it, we're all on this, if you're on that self-exploratory trip, we're all well aware of the difference between the two. So, to the cards, this is going to be a general reading for your star sign. This is a bulk introduction, as ever. There will be a timestamp down below, so once you've seen the introduction once, you don't have to watch it again. And I advise that you look at your sun, your moon, and your rising signs. Particularly, I would say, on this one, your moon, since we are talking about seeking balance, and the first place to seek balance is within your feelings, because if you don't get the balance there, you're not going to get the balance anywhere else. So as a general reading rules apply. You know the script here, you know, roles can be reversed if someone else appears. It's an oracle card driven reading, so you can ask a question beforehand. I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to give you an answer in any form that can relate to the question, but we're looking at the energies coming in. This is the model, and some astrologer friends of mine have contested this, but basically this is tarot, not astrology. But looking at what energies coming from Galactic Center are filtered by the moon and how they can affect us this season, especially with it being fall equinox. Especially with Jupiter just going direct. There is quite a challenging month ahead for us astrologically, but it looks like the fall equinox energies can really give us a springboard to hurtle through it and take advantage of the challenges that come to us, rather than just going, no, 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 no more, no more. Although, if you find yourself huddling in a corner rocking and saying, no more 2020 please, I don't blame you. Won't get a lot done, but I don't blame you. But try not to do that, because hey ho, we have got to make it to the end of the year somehow, you know. Even if my favourite election bumper sticker so far is Giant Asteroid 2020. So, yeah, comment down below. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Join the Facebook page, because if you're a Facebook person, you know, social dilemma notwithstanding, because I don't just post my videos, I post videos from the astrologers, the various, you know, astrology weather reports, Achita Bava, Astrology with Heather, Ksenia Moore, astrology podcast. Now there's always a good investment. It's normally about 2.5 hours long. Rick Levine, Astrology Hub. Can't think of any more right now, but I know that there's oodles more that I watch, but I want to get on with the cards, so let's bring them up. And hello to Pisces Rising and Pisces Moon, if you've just joined us after the timestamp. Now in Pisces, there's a really, really clear message coming in for you here. And where I am seeing it is this Keepers of the Earth card, this Family, Friends and Guides card, the Krishna card, and to a point the Angel of Knowing. There are guides and ancestors working around you at the moment. It's the way I'm interpreting these cards. I'm going to probably hit the tarot quite quickly. It's time for you to keep a promise. But it's time for you to keep a promise which is probably one of those promises that you made before you got to the planet. Or at least before you got to the planet this time. So, you are supported. The Keepers of the Earth. It says you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. And what this card talks about is that you have to look at your capacity to receive support, because there is lots and lots and lots of support there waiting for you as long as you are able to receive it. So let's have a look at this, because I want to look at a lot of these cards individually. So I'm going to go by the books. I don't always do this, but it is time to increase your capacity to receive support in the physical realm. This can come in the form of financial abundance, acts of service from strangers, or people flocking to help you in your work. The only thing that is stopping you right now is your capacity to receive support. You deserve to be rewarded for the work that you are doing. You do not need to go it alone. Call upon the Keepers of the Earth to help you in your mission. Open your heart and your mind to receiving more than you ever thought possible. What kind of support do you need? Just call it in right away, because this is promising that support is on offer. This is echoed in the Krishna card. Yeah, Krishna is here to boost your sense of connection to the divine and encourage you to ask for your soul. Your devotion to the spiritual path has been recognized, but there are sweet messages of hope around you now. There's that sense of mission. There's that sense of being recognized, being in the right place at the right time, because the Family, Friends and Guides also talks about, for example, the spirit of a family doctor or something coming to assist you. We start with this Oath card and work through your fears. There is something that you are facing where, once you overcome that hurdle, there is support available to you. And there is certainly plenty of people cheering you on. And it's not like you are not receiving the inspiration and the information from Spirit, as seen with Leliel, the Angel of Night. There's a lot going on that you don't see, but Leliel's job is to bring in the starlight, so they make sure that they are highlighting your attention on the things that you really, really, really need to see. Certain things you only need to feel their effects afterwards, certain things that you need to see. The Angel of Knowing, again, it's that my sense of inner knowing leads me to the light is the slogan on this card. So it is showing that listen to your guidance, work through your fears. So with the message of the Keepers of the Earth, it could be fears about lack and abundance. Right. Things are not going to make sense immediately, but persevere. This is quite similar to Aquarius's message. Persevere. Persevere through what you're going through, because you are keeping a promise by doing this. This is what yes. And we've got the wish fulfillment card with the Oath card here. So it's, yeah, you are keeping a promise by doing this, but this is what you wanted to do. This is why you came here. There is an element of, yes, I'm in the right place. 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups. Because this card here, your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, and creative accountability. Yes, you are the one who is accountable for your own life. And that implies with that Keepers of the Earth message, if you don't allow help in, ain't going to be no help for you. You have to let it in. But also you are directing your life yourself. This is a great time. You may not have all the information that you require, but as long as you are sticking to your principles, to treading that fine path between physical necessity and spiritual imperative. So if you notice, we've got a balance card here, Two of Pentacles, balance card here with the High Priestess. But you are going to be tested. Work through your fears with the Five of Wands here. But I feel that that's more, it's all right. It's going to work out as a good-natured testing from spirit. You know, it's, you're sitting in an exam, you're nervous about the exam, but the exam's not really that hard. You know, it's because you know this stuff, you know it. Now, again, we've got another balance card here with Awen, Three Rays of Light. Balancing the male and female energies, peace and harmony. There's so much divine support. So whatever you've got on the burner at the moment, get over your nerves and get on with it. And now I see where the message for me is. Okay. Being Pisces. Get over your... get over your nerves and get over it. Because we have here Jeliel with love and wisdom and Haziel with divine forgiveness. That working through your fears, there is an element of, I think you need to forgive yourself for something. Or you need to realize that you don't require forgiveness for something. That is another element, because on one level with the work through your fears, I'm seeing a link with this card and the Haziel, but I'm also feeling from the image of Haziel, it's like, yeah, you've got your forgiveness, all right, move on, next please. You know, there's like the forgiveness is a given, and it comes with authority. We have Paimon on the bottom of that card as one of the kings of hell, but also there with deception, which is what he represents astrologically with the degrees associated with him. But it's almost like I want to say that they're both relevant. It's like, yeah, okay, you were deceiving yourself about something. Fine, you can see the truth now. You're forgiven. Move along. Next, please. You know, so there is a call here to stop stressing with this Nine of Swords with Krishna, because what was that phrase? This one. It may feel as if you've been on a mental, emotional battlefield, but there are sweet messages of hope around you now. Okay, so if this Keepers of the Earth, family, friends and guides, and the Krishna card is not enough to say you are supported. The Divine Forgiveness card is not enough to say that you are supported. Krishna again, the Angel of Knowing, definitely 9 and 10 of Cups here, High Priestess. Your intuition, your insight is leading you in the right direction. Trust it. Whatever it is that you are not forgiving yourself about, get over it already. You know, because it's almost like, yeah, you can have the forgiveness, but the most important thing is that you need to realise that you don't actually need it, because you've got more important things to be getting on with than going through that, I need forgiveness. The only person that's really going to give you any forgiveness is yourself. And you need to realise that, you know, it's really not so much of an issue anyway. You've got more important things to do, which is really nice. I mean, this support's going to come in, and a lot of it is going to seem weird. You know, I mean, and says me being professor of woo-woo, you know, but the support that comes in, it's almost like, where's that come from? How come that's there? What? But it's good. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's surprising. It's like, what, why is this happening? Why? Okay, it's great, you know, and it is. But these are good things that are occurring, even while you're tormenting yourself. So pack it in. You know, there's just because you're the 12th sign doesn't mean you have to spend your entire life in the 12th house. There's something important, which is what this fire card here is telling me. The element of fire heralds new life, renewed passion, and positive transformation. So there is an element of stop beating yourself up, keep your promises, accept if promises have been broken to you. Okay, move along, don't worry. Where you have broken promises yourself, forgive yourself and move on, and either go and keep the promises or just accept that maybe circumstance was that you couldn't fulfill them anyway, and the only reason that you really need forgiving was being silly enough to promise the thing in the first place. And then get down to the serious business of whatever this oath is that you came onto the planet with. I mean, this is a really, really nice but hard reading. There's some difficult stuff here to look at. Work through your fears. 9 of Swords, but divine forgiveness. But like I say, it's almost, and so you're forgiven. Move on. Next one. Nothing to see here. Which I think is really, really nice. But listen to your guidance. Accept that you are supported. Accept the support. And get on with whatever it is that you came to the world to do. Because it offers you happiness. You are the author of your own life at the moment. Probably you probably have more power over your own life right now than you've noticed previously. It's almost like obviously there are peaks and troughs of when we feel in charge and when it looks like the planets, the governments, the whatever are directing us. But the thing is, we are always in charge in how we deal with the obstacles. But right now, it looks like there is a canvas for you to paint with your own life on it. Your life is a canvas. Let's use the imagery of the card. But you can take, with appropriate clarity, you can take your aims, your promises, the promises that you have made to yourself. So each of those promises, look at them. And if it's a promise that's a stupid promise, then accept that it's a stupid promise. You've broke it. Oh well. But if it's a promise that you can still keep and you want to keep and it's the right thing for you to keep, then crack on already. Now's the time. It's the real important thing here. Now is the time. That's lovely. And hard work. An element of emotional basket case for a short span of time, whether it's half an hour or a couple of evenings. But hey, we're Pisces. It's, let me just schedule in my emotional basket case hour, or week. We're good at that. But there's some really beautiful energies and beautiful support. Now is the time for you to really shape your life in the way that you intended, if that makes sense. So if it does, comment down below, like, share, subscribe obviously, and see you soon on the monthlies. All right, cheers.